This video is proudly sponsored by Gamersgate. Download games anytime, anywhere. Visit Gamersgate.com.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Elder Geeks Game Club. This is episode number 44, Mark of the Ninja. My name is Steve, and with me, as always, is Phil.
Hi!
Hey Phil, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And of
I
course
was told, I was told last time that my highs are not enthusiastic enough, so
Who said that?
You sold it.
Maybe our third person here said that.
Mr. Randy, the editor and owner of ElderGeek.com, is with us as well. Randy, welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
It has been a while. That's my fault. That's my bad. I was having a little bit of a rough week at work, and we had to delay the show a little bit, you know. Which is, I hate to delay it for such a good game like Mark of the Ninja.
Well, life happens sometimes, and, you know,
Yeah.
what can you do? So yes, for those of you who may be joining us for the first time, what we do here on the Game Club is we will pick a game, usually a smaller title, indie, retro, classic. We play it for a couple of weeks, and then we get together and we record this podcast where we kind of give our thoughts, things we liked, things we didn't like. Not so much a formal review as it is just a conversation among friends. And this time around, we played the game Mark of the Ninja, and Phil has prepared a little bit of information about the game for us.
Yeah, well, let's get caught up to speed a little bit if you don't know what Mark of the Ninja is. So it's a side-scrolling stealth action game from, would you say Clay or Cly Entertainment?
Clay? I'm going to go with Clay.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Clay sounds good.
I was hoping you were going to go with Cly, Steve, because then if one of us was wrong, then the other one was guaranteed to be right. So I'm going to change my answer and go with Cly.
I was just going to go all in with the wrong answer.
I liked when you all agreed, because then I just thought it was settled. It was Clay. All right, Clay. From here on out in this podcast, they are called Clay Entertainment. God, this
Sounds
podcast can't pronounce anything right. Anyway, the game is published by Microsoft Game Studios. So Clay, I was about to say Cly. I had to force myself to say Clay. Anyway, they're best known for the Shank series 1 and 2. And they also created a game called Eats, and they handled the port of N Plus for Xbox 360 as well. I put a little note in here just because I thought it was kind of funny. They were working on a game called Sugar Rush, which was canceled and has no relation to the Sugar Rush and Wreck-It Ralph. I've been watching a lot of Wreck-It Ralph lately, so it caught my attention.
I still haven't seen that film yet.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really good. I mean, the girls are starting to kill it for me a little bit. I think I've watched it. I watched it almost daily since it came out. So
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a habit of doing that. They will just kill
Kids, yeah.
Kids do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought that I would be sick of Nightmare Before Christmas, but my daughter did that for about a year and a half. It was like non-stop Nightmare Before Christmas, and by the end I'm just like, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
I hate Tim Burton. I hate everything about it.
Yeah, we're like that with they killed Tangled and they've killed Aladdin. This is like the third time in my life Aladdin's been killed for me.
Wow, it's kind of a shame that Aladdin was killed, because Aladdin's a good Disney flick.
Well, I mean, it's held up enough to where it has been killed a third time for me. So I mean, you got to think about how many times I've watched Aladdin.
True. But anyway, Clay or Cly.
All right, yeah, Clay. I'm sorry. It was formed in 2005. I thought this was kind of cool too, by Jamie Chang. They're based out of Vancouver, Canada. So he was a programming intern at Relic Entertainment, and then he formed this company. So he was only an intern.
That's
It
awesome.
wasn't even like he was a regular employee in the business for years. He just did his own thing. I mean, that's what it sounded like. I guess I should have looked into it a little more. But anyway, they're currently working on a game called Don't Starve.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can actually play Don't Starve right now.
That's what I had read. Yeah, it's in an open beta.
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
Nope, haven't had the time.
No, that's fine. I was just curious. But yeah, you can go play it. Don't starve. And the inspiration behind Mark of the Ninja was the lack of stealthy ninjas, what we were kind of talking about in our Shinobi 3 episode. Lack of stealthy ninjas in video games.
Yeah.
Like, Ninja Gaiden and all that, where they're not stealthy at all. They're just ripping heads off of people and being maniacs. So the game was pitched to Microsoft Game Studios, and they actually picked it up. That's how they got the console exclusive, because, as you might know, Shank was also on PS3 and all that. Which I was actually surprised when we were playing this. When I started, I played the PC version, and when I started up and saw that Microsoft logo, I was kind of surprised, because I could have swore that this was also on PS3, but I guess it wasn't.
I don't remember if it was on PS3. I know for certain it was on 360, but
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
it's
on
not
PS3.
on PS3 at all.
No, yeah. That's why when I saw that logo, I was like, oh wow, I really thought it was on there.
Oh wow.
See that door?
Yeah, so it was released on Xbox in September 2012, and then it got a Windows release in October, which of the same year, obviously. Which I thought was interesting, because I usually thought that these Xbox Live games usually have like that year window, like where they're exclusive. Like they just announced Fez, and they just announced I can't think of the other, Dust, which I would like to do those on Game Club.
I would love to do
eventually
Dust
when they come out.
on Game Club as well, but I think it's because I don't want to like start slinging accusations or anything like that, but I think a lot of indie developers aren't making as much money off of Xbox Live Arcade as they used to, like just say 2 years ago, and now people are seeing a greater and greater success off of Steam and other digital PC platforms, and so they're taking their games over there as well. There's been
But
a
do you
couple of
think-
other games that did that too.
Right.
I can't, a couple of them I can't even think of off the top of my head, but these ones have been translating really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, obviously Microsoft controls, whether this game comes out on Steam or not. So I just thought it just seemed quick.
Well, let's just be grateful that it wasn't on games for Windows.
Yeah, there you go.
That is true. Or that you didn't have to log into it like you did on what's it called? The UFO game we were playing. Can't even think of it. Shadow Planet.
Yeah, Shadow Planet.
Oh, that was the worst.
Mm-hmm.
It was the worst. Anyway, the game critically acclaimed, sitting at about 90 on Metacritic, which it could have been up or down, since I should have confirmed that. But yeah, so there you go. Critically acclaimed, Mark of the Ninja, 2D side-scrolling stealth action game from Clay Entertainment. Randy, I know you like to tell us how the game plays. You want to fill us in, or?
Sure, I'll tell you how the game plays. It is a 2D side-scrolling action game. I know we cover a ton of these, and I guess most people would kind of hearken this best to a two-dimensional Tenshu type game. You can wall run, and in fact, wall running is incredibly easy. There's a grappling mechanic, so you can actually grapple directly to like certain ceiling fixtures and everything like that. But the key is to not be seen. So the enemies on screen, you want to do your best to sneak up behind them, and you can take them out with your sword and kill them that way, or you can go the more aggressive route and be as brutal as you possibly can. But since it's a stealth game, you have a pretty limited health bar. So you can be incredibly brutal and like hang your enemies' bodies from like the light fixtures and everything like that in an attempt to have your enemies kill themselves. So there's a lot of really interesting mechanics with this game. So I don't really know how else to put it. It's a side-scrolling stealth game.
I mean, that's best way. That is the best way to put it.
Yeah, side-scrolling stealth game. Think Ninja Gaiden, but instead of going up and hitting your guys, you're doing your best to hide from the guys and then hitting them when they're not looking at you. That's
Right.
it. Yeah,
So, Randy, I know you love this game.
I do. I love this game
Steve,
so much.
What do you think of this game?
It's okay to hate it. Tell me you hate it. Tell me why, and I'll tell you why you suck.
No, I lost my train of thought for a moment there. Sorry. I really like this game a lot. This game kind of falls into that same category. What I was talking about last time with Cinemora. About the
Yeah.
the fact that like certain games every now and then when I play them, it kind of redeems my faith in video games, and this is definitely one of those. I mean, it's just a really well polished stealth game. We don't get enough good stealth games anymore, I don't think. And the fact that this pulls off in a 2D game a better stealth experience than most of the 3D stealth games I've played in the last decade says quite a bit, I think. The graphics style in this game is really cool. When I first saw it, see, I've never played Shank, so I have no point of reference about those games at all. I know that there was some going back and forth last time about the Shank games.
Right.
So I've never played those, and when I saw the art style for this, it's funny, the first thing I thought that somehow Penny Arcade was involved, because it has that kind of style of their artwork. Gabe, his style. So that was what I thought at first, and then once I dug into it a little bit, I'm like, oh no, these guys, this has nothing to do with that. But so it's got a really cool, unique, cartoony art style to it, which I think works really well, surprisingly, for a game that's kind of dark in a lot of ways.
And pretty graphic too.
Yeah, with the way you take guys out and everything. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think the controls are pretty tight. If I had one kind of minor thing, I always felt like, and I don't, this might have been a deliberate design choice with the controls, but like a lot of times when I would be moving, I'd feel like I'd stop and my guy would still move for like a little bit more after that. And sometimes I found that to be a little frustrating. It would screw me up. But not too bad. Not too bad. That's a minor gripe, I think.
Did you play with mouse and keyboard or controller?
No, I played with a 360 controller. Yeah.
I was gonna say I actually hated his just regular walk.
His sneaky walk?
It just it drove me nuts.
Because he's doing it like very intentionally. It's like right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Yeah.
And it kind of just feels like he's got like rocks in his pants when he's doing it. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't seem like he's light. He seems like heavy. Like he seems like he just got out of the ocean or something. You know, he's like soaking wet. Like he's just
No, I know what you mean, and I think that was an unintentional result of them trying to get that animation of a sneaky movement of him walking,
right.
You know, that tiptoe movement. And I think you're right. I think it's kind of awkward that it does have this like sand in your pockets feeling as you're doing it.
I was actually thinking about the walk a lot because I was just like, what do I like? It's driving me nuts. Like I was just trying to like, and yeah, like I get that they were trying to do that tiptoe sneak thing, but at the same time, I feel like they could have came up with something else. Like maybe his feet are just a little speedier, you know, but he's still being silent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I almost wonder if they did that intentionally to prevent you from walking, to use the other modes of transportation to like try to grapple across the environment or climb on the ceiling, or you know, one of my favorite little things is when you're hiding behind like a pot or a doorway or something, if you push right and then B, he'll like skip real quick just in the shadows to the next cover as well. So I mean, I think that might be why they do it, because as annoying as that walk mechanic is, I can't really say I use it much.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it feels great when he's running. When you're running with him, it's like he's just flipping and doing all sorts of cool shit. Of course, everyone's hearing you while you're doing this. So like, you don't want to run that much. But I'm sorry if I cut you off there, Steve.
No. I kind of was just gonna agree with what Randy said. Is that I really didn't find myself walking a whole lot, especially once I could do the grapple thing. That was, I pretty much whenever I could do that, that was my preferred mode of getting around, was just grappling from item to item. I really liked the sound mechanic in the game.
Yeah.
I loved how when you went too fast, there was kind of like that ping that went out from you and all like a sonar.
Yeah.
And then like when you were kind of trying, if you couldn't see where a guard was, sometimes you would see the little blip across the screen. I'm like making hand motions, so people on YouTube can see what I'm doing. People listening on the podcast are gonna have no clue, but you know, you could see the little blip
like
things.
You can see the footsteps.
Yeah,
you could see the sound of the footsteps, whatever the term is for seeing sounds. There is a term for that, but
I see colors.
Yeah, you know, I see sounds.
Which was really effective, and I thought it was just a cool, smart way to handle that. Just design decisions like that is what made this game work so well as a 2D stealth game. Whereas I think in the past, you know, there were other ways that they would do it in a 3D environment, where you just have more of a field of view of what's around you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like how...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was going to say, I really actually like the way that his field of view works. Like, if say you're standing in front of like a tall like box or something like that, he actually can't see over the box. So like what the game does is it kind of blurs out what he can't see. I thought that was really cool. It was like a neat way of, not being able to see everything, but it gives you just enough of like an information. It shows you, what's over, like, what kind of terrain is over that area, but it's not actually showing you like what kind of guy might be over there or whatnot. I'm probably doing a terrible job of explaining this, but
well, it's kind of like I guess you said it best. When you're at an edge or something, you can peek up real quick and catch a glimpse of it, and then peek back down, and what you'll see will gradually like blur away until all you can see are just the sounds of the people moving around. The interesting thing about that, Phil, is when you finish the game and you unlock hardcore mode, you can only see in the direction that he's facing on screen. So if you're only facing right, he can only see right, and he can hear what's behind him, kind of coming up in that typical pinging motion. So
that's cool.
It's really cool, and that's my one of the few beefs that I actually have about that. I think one of the best ways to truly experience Mark of the Ninja is to play it in hardcore mode. And I'm not saying it like, oh, you're only a real gamer if you play it in hardcore mode. But I mean, it really does a great job of emphasizing the game's mechanics by forcing you to use them.
Right.
There's no fudging your way through it. Then you can't just be like, heck, I goofed up. I'm just gonna kick these guys to death.
I bet you that was one of those things where the game originally was always played like that, and then they had play testers come and they're like, I can't do it.
You're probably right.
You're like, well, we gotta sell this thing, so let's ease up on it a little bit. But yeah. So
I was gonna say the other really interesting part about the stealth mechanic in this that I enjoyed. A lot of stealth games they do. Older Splinter Cell games would have light meters where you would literally see how much light you were in. The most recent Splinter Cell game was if you were seen or visible, you were in color, and if you were invisible, you were in black and white. Right. And this, it's sort of similar to this. If you're in shadows, you're in like full black ninja garb, like complete with face mask and everything. But if you're within a visible light spectrum, it appears you're actually wearing the color blue, and you have like red face paint, and you almost change appearance completely, and it's a really neat mechanic.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, it's just like a cool visual thing to show that okay, they can see me. Yeah. One thing I like how you can sneak up on people and you do like these cool stealth kills or whatever. But the one thing where I feel like it kind of falls apart is when you get caught, you're almost worthless. Like maybe I'm doing something wrong, because you do the stealth kills and he whips out his sword and he slashes people in half and they die immediately. But when he gets caught, he doesn't use his sword. I mean, not that I know of. He just does fists, and he does these like quick punch combos. Yeah. And I guess the idea is they want you to run away. They don't want you to confront these people. But I don't know. Like, I liked how, but I felt like it's saying I can't defend myself. Like, and then you have like no health. So I feel like when you play something like Metal Gear, and you get caught, of course you still want to go run and hide because these guys are gonna be on your ass forever. But like, I feel like in Metal Gear I can defend myself better. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of a flaw it is, but it just kind of was just like, I just felt worthless.
I think that's just a different point of view, man. Like, that point of view that you have is a pretty popular one, but I'm of the exact opposite, where I don't want to be some kind of all-around badass killer guy. I want to be if I get caught, I want them to be able to kill me quickly, because I want to be able to pay for my mistakes kind of thing. And I think for stealth idiots like me who really, really like stealth games, that's kind of what we really like about them. It's that vulnerability if you get caught, and it's that motivation to stay hidden. So I like that, but I totally respect the fact that you don't like that.
I actually tried to avoid killing anybody for that reason, because I just didn't. It seemed like whenever I killed somebody, like a second later, someone would come out of the door and be like, "What was that?" And then like
you must have been screwing up. You must have been screwing up your stealth kills.
Yeah, well, I was doing the stealth kills, but I don't know. Well, you're right. I was probably screwing up.
Yeah, or you weren't hiding bodies. Because if they scream, if they scream if you don't do it right.
Okay, yeah, it was tricky. Yeah, the stealth kills were tricky, and I like that they actually put something into it other than just like hit X to do. You actually have to move the controller, the thumbstick, and do it like at kind of a precise moment in order for it to fire off properly.
Yeah, I almost want to call it a quick time event, but I hate to use that dirty word.
It is.
You know,
it totally is.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a reason for it though. You know, it's
Right,
it's
no.
the make it clean or not make it clean. You know,
Right. I think a quick time event in that context where you're actually doing something is fine. I think a quick time event when like you're watching a cutscene and all of a sudden like a boulder starts rolling down the path and like you have to like start hammering on the X button to get out of the way in the middle of a cutscene.
Are you thinking of a scene in Resident Evil 4 by chance?
I am actually, yes. That has it, and then another game I've played recently that had it was Metal Gear Peace Walker had it during the cutscenes, and you would actually fail the cutscenes. You know, if you didn't like, and that to me is just, it's like, come on, you know, like I know like cutscenes are boring, whatever, blah blah blah. We've got to like, you know, come up with a way to make them more interactive, but that's not it.
Yeah, my least preferred version of the QuickTime events is press X one time to do something way more epic than your character could ever possibly do within the game. And I'm thinking of Star Wars Force Unleashed, a game that I really liked. I mean, it would be like press X one time to slice an AT-AT walker like right up through the middle, killing the soldiers and stuff inside, and then watch it fall in half. It's like, well, why couldn't I just do that with my guy? Like, why does this need to be a QuickTime event? You know?
Right.
Like God of War. God of War is like the king of that.
Yeah.
Hit the button and slash the Hydra's face into 40 pieces and rip its throat out.
I gotta correct myself. The ATST walkers. There's gonna be people that are be like, it wasn't an AT-AT walker, idiot. It was an ATST walker.
One thing with the stealth in this game, and this is pretty much true for most stealth games, really. I mean, I've always found it to be a little ridiculous when like the guards see you, and it kind of breaks that fourth wall a little bit. The guard sees you, he shoots at you, and everyone knows you're there, and the alert meter goes off, and then you hide. You manage to get away, and you hide, like, and then the timer ticks down, and the guard's like, "Huh, guess it was my imagination," and then he just walks away, and you're like, "What?" You were like firing off half a clip at me, like, what the hell, you know? But that's always just seems to be part of stealth games. I guess they have to have some mechanic to let it reset, but I don't know. I'd love to see the stealth game where they don't stop. They're gonna hunt you down until they find you, and that's it. You know, like
there is no timer.
Yeah, I guess that would be a really frustrating experience for people. Like, at least this, gives you an out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is hardcore mode like that, Randy? I don't know, because
I don't remember, but it'd be neat if it was.
Because I could be saying all this, and someone in the YouTube comments will be like, "Dipshit, you should play it on hardcore mode." Noob.
I have hardcore mode unlocked on my 360, which I haven't powered up in a long time right now. And I for Game Club, I played it on PC because I wanted to see how big of a difference it was between the two. And it's pretty big. Like, just the graphical, definition difference is pretty remarkable. So,
wow.
Plus, you can get it a lot cheaper on PC too.
Yeah, I think I got it during some sort of sale.
For like $4 or $5.
Yeah, I think it might have been the winter sale. I got it for like $4 or $5. Yeah, which is a phenomenal deal for a game of this level of production and content.
Yeah. It is a tad on the short side, but again, like I said, I think the hardcore mode definitely adds some longevity to it.
Yeah,
is it short? Yeah, I'll admit I played through like I think half of it, and it felt I put on like close to 4 hours, maybe over 4 hours.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
I wish I put on more, especially with the extra week, but.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
I've said in the past, and I think
failed.
we've all kind of echoed the sentiment that a shorter, like really solid experience kind of trumps a game that's artificially
long and boring.
Right, with a bunch of sequences that are just kind of like there to make the game feel longer, like you somehow got your money's worth.
Yeah.
That being said, I spent $5 on it and not $15 or whatever it launched at. So I guess that I could possibly be skewing my opinion, but oh well.
Yeah, there's other things that add to the longevity of the game too. There's the specific ninja suits that you unlock. Like there's the one that lets you not use swords at all, which kind of forces you to do the 100% no kill mode through the whole game. And then there's a ton of other items that you can tinker with too. So for stealth people out there, I totally recommend picking this one up because
also I would say the throwing knives really probably for like a ninja game. I mean, best implementation of throwing knives.
Where you can
I've
freeze
seen.
that time for just a moment to line up your... Yeah,
Love
that's
it. And I'm
pretty
sorry,
cool.
I think I cut you off there, Randy. I
No,
apologize.
don't worry. I was gonna say, like, this is the kind of game that there was, and I did this with like Tenshu and the older like Splinter Cell games, where you would play through the game the first time and really have a good time with it. And the second time you play through it, you try to not kill anybody and have a really good time with it. And then the time after that, it's you try to get through it as quickly as you can without being seen. And you know, it almost like it gets more and more enjoyable as you go along until you get to the point where you've just mastered the game and you walk through it, and then
You are the stealth master.
love stealth games. I did a little bit of this one with like I did some no kill on this for people that are watching it, but it had been a while, you know, since I had played it last. So there was in the beginning portion of it, you'll see me doing some kills, and there was one part where I couldn't get past this one guy without killing him, and I was like, well, it's probably gonna be boring having people watch me just constantly try to get by this guy, get killed, and then restart it. So I just killed him and pushed forward. But people who are trying to achieve a no-kill run on this will have an okay time with it because the checkpoints on this are pretty generous.
Yeah.
You know, there's no quick save or anything like that. But if you die, you're not going back too far.
Yeah, the checkpoint seemed pretty forgiving. I really liked all the what else? I just all the items and everything. I liked how it had kind of like that upgrade system in it.
Yeah.
Phil's having a little audio problems for the folks at home.
Yeah. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay.
We'll be able to fix it.
We're
in
good.
post.
We're good.
Yeah. But you know, it's funny, we were talking about art style before, and you were saying that it reminded you of Penny Arcade. But I swear it totally reminded me of Phil's shit.
Yeah. It's got,
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you didn't see it. Like the actual animated sequences, I thought they were very Phil Summersy.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess just knowing, you know, I thought the first thing I thought of was that cardboard samurai thing that they do, and that it looked similar to that to me. So I guess that's why I thought that. But yeah, no, I not to take anything away from Phil's.
The animation on the I'm sorry. You guys are still kind of going in and out on me, so I'm sorry that I cut you off there.
It's okay.
But the animation on the cutscenes, sometimes it was like really awesome, and then other times it was just kind of like you could tell they're just puppeting the characters in Flash or whatever. But
Right.
for the most part, I mean, pretty awesome animation. Especially like I'm sure this game wasn't like this bajillion-dollar budget thing, and you know, and it looked really good. So.
Can I also want to say that I swear that the animation and the setting in it reminded me of the old Gargoyles cartoon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it was about it. Like, maybe it was the bad guy or something in it that really reminded me of the old Gargoyles cartoon. I know there's no gargoyles at all in this game. There's something about it that just
There's one on expert mode. No, I don't know. No. No, I guess I could see it with the backgrounds a little bit. But
I hope that he does another one of these, to be honest with you. I would like another Mark of the Ninja because, like we were saying, there's not enough good stealth ninja-y games. And I think I would like it. You know, this is set in sort of a modern-day setting. But my favorite part was actually the beginning when they're running around in the big old, you know, Japanese castle and everything like that. And
Right.
I'm not saying I lost interest as they go towards, like, the techie city or anything like that, but I like the classic old Japanese style setting.
I feel like there'll definitely be another one of these.
I hope so.
I mean, it seemed to have done pretty well. I think.
Well, they did a sequel to Shank also, right?
They did a sequel to Shank. So if Shank's getting sequels, this has got to get a sequel, right? I mean,
You didn't like Shank at all, did you, Phil?
I did not like Shank. Is not that good. It's pretty boring. This is a very good step up from Shank, and you can tell. I think the same has to be like the same team of artists and all that, like animators were on this that were on Shank. But yeah, game design wise and everything, like way better, I think. I mean, it's hard to compare them. They're very different games.
Yeah.
But this is, I think, clearly a more enjoyable game.
Yeah. I will say this will be my final praise of the game. I really think that the controls. I didn't play it much with mouse and keyboard because I have a 360 controller and it's a side scroller, so I'm going to use that. But I really think that the controls are like dead on for this. When you want to jump onto the wall, he'll stick to the wall right where you want him to. Where you want him to land, he'll land right there. And for this kind of stealth ninja experience, I think that's really important. I don't know, with old games even with just Shinobi that we were playing recently, I found myself at times getting kind of frustrated with the jump mechanic because it was that double jump that you had to time absolutely perfectly. And he had like the old Mario 1 type jumping, or I guess it would be more like Castlevania type jumping, where once you start jumping, you're going to land right where you land. I feel like it was really just perfect controls on this.
I often wonder about like those old jumping mechanics, like things like the double jump, for example. Like how much of that was intentional and how much of it was just limitation of programming back then. And it was just like, well, we don't have any way to. We've started the function that tells this guy he's jumping, and if you're going to do anything else, you only have this window to do it, or else it's just not going to fire properly. But I don't know that for a fact. That's just me wondering as a programmer what went into those early mechanics and making them work with what limited resources they had, and now with more powerful machines and kind of more robust programming languages to put these things together. I imagine they just have a lot more freedom with those types of things. Yeah.
Steve, did you hang anybody from the rafters? Get them to shoot another guard?
No, I never pulled that off.
No?
No, like I said, I really did not try to kill people very often, and when I did, it was just like stupid stuff, like poorly timed stealth kills that would alert everybody to my presence. So
yeah.
I did try to play it. I tried to RP a ninja. I was getting in the head of a ninja, and I'm like, I don't want to just kill everybody. I want to sneak through here.
Well, the nice part is you can RP the role of like the mega deadly ninja as well.
Yeah,
and do crazy stuff like hang your enemies from like light poles and crap like that. The first time when I saw that, like, because you look through the upgrades and it's like, to kill one of your people and hang them, and I was like, really? Yeah, all right, I'll try that out. And the first time you do it, you like literally hang a body just to scare the rest of the enemies. And I'm like, that is a really cool idea. This game more than anything makes me really miss the Tenchu series.
I never played any of those. Did you, Steve?
Yeah, I played the first one, definitely. I remember playing on the PlayStation 1.
Yep.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, Tenchu 1 and 2 were on the PlayStation 1, and they were both good.
I don't remember the second one as much, but I remember, back when the PlayStation 1 came out, a friend of mine had it. Well, I had one as well, but I just remember he had a PlayStation 1 and he had Tenchu, and I think all he did was play Tenchu for like because every time I'd go hang out at his house, he just was playing that all the time. So that was kind of my experience with it. And yeah, that was a cool game, and it had a very similar kind of feel to it in terms of in that the Asian because you were running. Well, yeah. Wait, were there ninjas? Oh, yeah. What I'm saying here makes absolutely no sense at all whatsoever. But the first Tenchu game, doesn't it start out and you're at a school, like you're at like a ninja academy or something?
I think your training mission is in like a ninja academy, but your first official mission is actually within a little fortress kind of thing, and you have to break into the center castle and kill the guy inside.
Man, that might be a good one. I know we might I don't know, we could hit our ninja quota for the year, but Tenchu might be a good one to revisit.
Wow, we would have done let's see, this one, and we just did Shinobi. Are there any other ninja games we've been hitting up lately?
Not so far, but that would be 3 in 1 year. That would be pretty wild.
Year of the Ninja.
Game clubs.
I can get behind it.
Game Club's Year of the Ninja 2013.
That's actually one of the main thesis statements of the next episode of 25 Games for My Son. Ninjas are awesome. They're really cool.
But not that ninja.
Not that ninja, but because ninjas are so awesome, that's why you make stupid decisions sometimes and buy shitty games like Wrath of the Black Manta.
Yeah. The ninja who gets woken up at like 2 a.m. with the phone call and he's dressed in complete ninja garb.
Dude, I didn't write this at all, but I've been trying to find a spot to put it into the script, but I swear there is a guy that you rescue on one of the levels in Wrath of the Black Manta, and he looks just like Neil Diamond.
I believe
And like
it.
the late 70s Neil Diamond, too.
Nice.
Oh
Lovely.
god, that game. Hey, I want to play it.
Don't.
I'm going to.
After doing Shinobi, you can't go back to Wrath of the Black Manta. Oh well. But
So-
anyway, Mark of the Ninja. I really have nothing else to say. I can't remember what we officially scored it on our EG video review. I think it might have actually gotten to worth trying, but
Wow, you
if-
didn't give it a worth buying?
I think so. But if it was me, from my personal perspective, it would be like, buy it.
Oh, you did not write that review?
I don't think I
Market
wrote
Ninja?
that review. No, that was.
Oh.
I think I was writing a different review at the time, and somebody else kind of did that one to kind of cover as many games as we possibly could.
Right on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we did get an email from Thomas, and Thomas said, I really enjoyed Mark of the Ninja. Art style was great, gameplay was great. I didn't try the mouse and keyboard, but I highly doubt it would be as good as the controller. I used an Xbox 360 one. The story wasn't amazing, but I did enjoy it, and the end actually made me think about the choice there is. I also really enjoy playing through levels again on New Game Plus with the different outfits and their different abilities. So, cool. Thank you, Thomas.
Shen, who is doing his video game backlog on our live stream, he just did Mark of the Ninja not too long ago. And while I was watching him play, he played with mouse and keyboard, and he said that he had zero problems with it. And he was doing really well with it too, with mouse
Cool.
and keyboard. So I don't think mouse and keyboard should hinder anybody with it.
That is interesting. I did not try it, and now I kind of wish I had, because I'd like to, if they implemented it well, it'd be interesting to see a game like this be playable on mouse and keyboard. I imagine maybe like marking your targets and stuff with the mouse would probably be a little more intuitive than using the thumbstick to kind of point the line at where you want it to go.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really give it a chance. Didn't give it a chance. Again, I have my 360 controller, so why would I even?
Yeah,
Why,
I'm kind
why fix something that ain't broke?
Exactly. That's kind of the nice thing about it is it kind of, for games like this on the PC, it gives you that experience of not quite big comfy couch, but almost.
It depends on the size of your monitor and how comfy your chair is.
I have a 27-inch monitor, but it's about
Jeez.
it's about, I don't know, that far away from my face. So
I've got the same thing as you. It's about that far away from my face.
so it's kind of like sitting across the room from like a 50-inch TV, I guess.
yeah.
Only it's way worse on my eyes, I imagine. I'll be blind by the time I get to 40. I'll be basically blind. So,
Oh well.
what are you gonna do?
Phil, any last thoughts from you, man? Any hated
Yeah,
it, loved it?
I don't know if I loved it. It's weird. I've been trying to figure this out too. I mean, we had an extra week to play this game, and I didn't actually play. I played it the other night just because I wanted a refresher. But, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's where I am in my life, like what I'm playing. But like I had a hard time. I don't know. After I wrapped up a session of it, I was never like, oh, I can't wait to get back and play this again. And I'm not sure if it's just because like I just hated the idea of having to come down in the basement, turn on the computer, be on the computer again. Like I'm wondering like if I had it like on my DS or something, if I would have played it more or a bit more into it. So I don't, because I like everything about it. Like I have like really nothing bad to say about it other than the fact that I hate his shit pants walk. And like that's my only complaint really is I
Built
hate
up
that.
in the cuffs at the bottom.
Right, yeah, like you're just walking through poop. Other than that, I mean, I like pretty much everything about this game, yet I never was just like, oh, I can't wait to get home and play Mark of the Ninja tonight. So I don't know, like, I don't have an answer for that, and I wish I did. I was thinking about it. I was like, why am I not, I like this game, I like everything about it, but why am I not, like, why do I not want to come home and just play through this game and finish this game? And I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Dude, I wonder if this was on your 3DS, if you'd be playing it more often. Because this would make a pretty cool 3DS game.
Yeah, I mean, because that's kind of the way, like, these portable games is, like, what I have time for in my life now. So it's like right now I'm playing Luigi's Mansion, and it's just cool. Like I can open up Luigi's Mansion here and there and close it. Like if the kids are, keeping occupied, it's like, oh, I can get 15 minutes of Luigi in. I pop open the lid, I'm left off right where I was, or I'm taking a crap and I can play for 15 minutes there. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm laying in bed and it's like, okay, I'm gonna play for 20 minutes. So that's where I can get all my games in. It's hard for me lately to just like sit down and force myself to like get through. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really have an answer here.
I think like in terms of art style, it would work really well on a 3DS because you would think of him going into the background as he's hiding in doorways and moving towards the foreground as he's like hiding behind pots and stuff. And even the soldiers' guns, which I didn't notice when I was playing it on my 360, but you'd notice it more on the PC. The soldiers' guns are 3D models, and as they swing their guns, you can actually see it in 3 dimensions. And so little stuff like that would be really, really cool on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
Now I want this to be on 3DS, and now I kind of want a 3DS. If this comes to 3DS, I'll buy a 3DS.
It will. I'm sure it will never come. It can't come to 3DS.
With Microsoft Studios, no, it'll never come.
Or even just like I haven't played my Wii U in forever, but when I was playing, like the one game I had for it, Mario, I played through all of Mario on the gamepad. Like I never played it on TV.
Really?
So it should. Yeah, I played through that whole game just on the gamepad because like I just don't use the TV. I don't know what it is. Because I could play it up in my bed, and that's where I would play it.
Wild.
So, it is. I don't know. I'm going through a phase or something.
We gotta get you more time off of work.
Yeah. Hi.
What about you, Steve? Any final thoughts?
I mean, I can't think of any reason that someone would just say not to check this game out. I mean, it's a great game, and it's been out for a while now, and you'll most likely be able to find it on sale. And I imagine if you only have a 360, then there's definitely a demo version. I don't remember if there's a demo version on Steam or not.
I'm gonna look.
But
wait, no, I can't look. I'm in offline mode right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't look. The whole podcast will crash. Yeah, but I mean, at the very least, if you have a 360, check out the demo. But I mean, look for this thing on sale. It's always if you're put off by whatever the price tag is now. I can't imagine it's more than $10. But if you can get it cheap, hey, do it. It's a great game. Really good stealth game.
Yeah. Guaranteed somebody's going to say, oh, another side-scrolling platformer.
No, this is so different than...
It's not... Yeah, I couldn't call this a platformer in any...
Yeah, it's a stealth game. It's Metal Gear in 2D.
Yeah.
Which I was... Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it's Tenshu in 2D.
Yeah. See, I never played Tenshu, so I can't say that.
You keep saying Metal Gear, and it's getting me all whipped up into a frenzy.
For Metal Gear 5, you mean?
Yes. Yes.
So much excitement. Now that I'll figure out a way to make time for that game.
Are we going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 5 on Game Club? Is this something we're all going to be playing?
Ooh.
I mean,
yeah,
we haven't done a big title in a while.
What if we could always do like an older Metal Gear game too, if we wanted to kind of stick with the but I guess we'll see.
I'm up for any Metal Gear. I love them.
all the Metal Gears. All of them.
I do. I can't help it.
They're fun.
Yeah, they are. Although Peace Walker was the only one I really couldn't get into.
Never tried Peace Walker.
I feel like if I played it with like the DualShock or something, I would like if I played the HD collection one, I'd be more into it.
It's considerably better.
PSP.
I've played both. I've played both, and the HD version is much better.
Yeah, playing on PSP was really. It's like a dual stick game, and there's no second stick, and it's just like.
Right. So they come up with like wacky ways to try to make that work, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, they did that with that Call of Duty game on the PSP as well, and that is also a dual stick game, and it was just hell trying to control that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I remember, like the first thing you need to do in Peace Walker, if I remember correctly, is it's like select a grenade and blow up this gate, and I could not freaking select the grenade. I could not select it. Like I just couldn't do it. I don't know. There's something wrong with me. I'd like to think I'm pretty good at games. Like if they tell me to do something, I can usually figure it out. But like you have to hold in all these buttons and shit to get the right menu up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's a bit much.
Yeah. I mean, I did eventually blow the gate up, but there was frustration involved. I'm sorry, I'm going on tangents here.
No, it's quite all right. Quite all right. So what are we doing next time on here on the Game Club? We're doing
Primordia?
Primordia or Primordia or however you want to call it. It's a kind of that old school PC kind of vibe to it.
Point and clicky
But it's
adventure type.
It's not
thing.
old though, right?
It's not old. It just recently came out. Like within, I think
Oh.
it came out the end of 2012, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
November or December. But I could be wrong on that. But that was roughly the time it came out. And yeah, it looks like it's a game I've been kind of itching to put some time on, and it's should be interesting.
Yeah, I've been the same way, Steve. It's been one of those back burner games when I get free time games, and it's kind of nice that we're forcing ourselves to play this one. So yeah.
Yes. So look forward to that in a couple of weeks. We'll be putting that out, and yeah, should be good.
Yeah, sweet.
Do we have a guest for that episode too, right?
We do, yeah. We have Joe from the Upper Memory Block podcast is going to be joining us on that episode, so that should be cool.
Awesome.
His show is we'll talk about it more when he's actually on, but he does a podcast that focuses on DOS and pre-Windows XP gaming.
Nice.
So this seemed like a perfect fit to have him on the show, and should be fun.
I could probably chat with that guy for years.
Yeah,
Some Commander Keen and stuff.
He does his homework. He does some pretty extensive research for each episode, and really.
Wow.
So yeah, I think
cool.
it'll be a lot of fun having him on the show, and so please look forward to it in 2 weeks here on Elder Geek. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button up there and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Or whatever the hell I just said.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. He's just below the scribe in the hierarchy.
He's a subscribe.
Oh man, what the hell? I'm really tired tonight. Sorry for anybody watching this who's like, what the hell is wrong with him? I'm like a zombie tonight, like exhausted. So I apologize if I'm less articulate than usual. So yes, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Head over to eldergeek.com. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch TV. Check out the channel there. There's some great stuff going on there. Shen's streaming his insane amount of backlog games that he's trying to get through, and Trevor and those guys do Two Button Panic every week as well. So check out the Twitch TV channel. Look for more great video reviews and features from Randy here. And check out Phil's channel over at Shamoozle. If you haven't already, you definitely should, because he's got some great stuff, as we mentioned. Excellent cartoons, and I don't do anything, really, aside from this podcast.
You run this podcast, and this podcast is awesome.
Speaking of the podcast, it's available on iTunes, an audio version for any of you who are watching it who want to maybe take it on the go with you and listen. It's up on Stitcher Radio, and it is also available on the Zune Marketplace, which...
Is there still a Zune Marketplace?
I don't know. I call it that, but I don't think it's actually called that anymore. I think it's like whatever that is. But we're also, we're out on a bunch of things.
You
really.
can, if you want to find us, you can. Was what we're saying.
Yeah, I recently converted to being an Android user and having been an iPhone user for many years, and I was surprised as I started going out and grabbing various ways to listen to podcasts that I was finding our show on them. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
How the hell did we get on here? Like, I have no idea, but I was happy about it. I'm not complaining. It's great. I'm
You're
glad,
doing something right, Steve.
It was just kind of I guess. I don't know. It was kind of amusing. I'm like, I don't remember submitting to this, but I'll take it. That's great.
That's awesome.
So look for us at any of those places and leave us some feedback, some ratings. We would greatly appreciate it. So, with that being said, I think that about does it for this episode of the Game Club. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure as always.
Yeah, it was fun.
So we'll see you in a couple weeks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
All right. Bye. Good night.